What you are hearing is the United States national anthem performed in the Navajo language by Navajo Nation singer Michelle Thomas and her daughter. This is all part of the 13th annual Honoring the Veterans Powwow, hosted by the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Nation.
Per capita, Native people have served in the armed services more than any other ethnic group. And that is because of the warrior spirit that has always been a part of Native communities. The Tasuis, Joshua David Carter. My name is Joshua David Carter, and I am a citizen of the Mashantucket Pequot Tribal Nation. I've also been blessed with the awesome responsibility of being the executive director of the Mashantucket Pequot Museum and Research Center.
While this impressive 300,000 square foot space in Mashantucket, Connecticut is the largest Native American museum in the world, locally the tribe may be better known for the Foxwoods Resort and Casino.
What most people aren't aware of is that the tribal nations as they stand even currently today in the United States of America are the poorest communities in the United States of America. And you know, we could talk a lot about how that happened, but knowing that gaming does provide that profitability based on sovereign status and what is called the Indian Gaming and Regulatory Act. This was the first full-scale gaming operation in relation to tribal communities, and as a result of that, there have been many, many since then.
While profits here do benefit tribal citizens as well as the state of Connecticut, a successful casino is far from a cure-all for economic challenges facing tribe members.
We are rich in the way that we have access to understanding who we are. We are rich in that we still occupy the lands that we have occupied for thousands of years. Mashantucket is the longest continuously occupied reservation, but contrary to popular belief, no, we are not all, in American terms, rich.
While their tribal roots and homeland have not changed, the appearance of most tribal members has changed dramatically, a fact featured in the museum portrait gallery.
Given the fact that Mashantucket is ground zero for colonization, yes, going back 400 years, our ancestors look much different. And so just like most communities clear across Turtle Island, otherwise known as North America, our community comes in all shapes and sizes and colors.
That diversity is celebrated and on full display in the faces of the three young women who proudly hold the titles of Miss, Junior Miss, and Little Miss Mashantucket.
Michaela Allen. I'm Miss Mashantucket. I've always had people tell me that for different reasons why I'm not Native American or it's not important. It's always been important to keep our heritage alive and keeping it known of who we are.
Today, in honor of the veterans and representing her tribe, Allen performs the Eastern Blanket Dance. On permanent display in the museum is this recreation of a 16th century Pequot village. Meanwhile, 90 miles northwest in Ashfield, Massachusetts, a similar scene is playing out with 21st century implications.
I grew up on the Cape, so I was always seeing Wampanoag do this work. Kotakwakawani, good afternoon. My name is Andre Strong Bearheart from the Nipmuc tribe. I am the cultural director of No Loose Braids. No Loose Braids is a Nipmuc-led nonprofit that focuses on cultural revitalization and preservation. There would be some of the land stewardship work that we do, also public education.
On this day, Strong Bearheart is working with his family to finish skinning, tanning, and stretching animal hides as part of a workshop to teach young people how to process the whole animal in the traditional way.
So the town basically will call us if a bear or a deer gets hit, and we'll come and gather it and take care of it. The largest percentage of our people live within the city limits, whether it's Worcester or Springfield or Agawam. Our folks live a particular lifestyle now. So for us to be able to have these cultural workshops, we need our community because it's laborious work.
Doing this work requires access to the land that was inhabited by native tribes for millennia before many were forcibly removed. One of many issues Strong Bearheart explores in his video poem, Wrung from the Inside Out.
I'll never forget the day that I was wrung from the inside out. I'm here for a reason. Creator put us in a particular place because there was things from the land that we needed. There's this brook that's spring fed off this mountain over here. There's deer meat all along these ridge lines out here. The maple trees are back up on that hill as well. This is really important, making sure that we put that puzzle piece of who we are back inside of us so that we can remember the ways that we lived here for thousands of years.
Well said. And Nipmuc translates to freshwater people. True to the name, in a recent trip to Uganda, Andre Strong Bearheart brought with him local water.
Local water is a sign of solidarity because Lake Victoria there is dealing with high levels of pollution, and there are 40 million people who live around that rely on the lake for food, for water, for employment as well, and all of that is at risk because of some of the pollution that is leaking into that lake.
Up next, finding inspiration in Aquinnah.